In today's video, we're going to assemble this desk, and the customer wants it in the first configuration. The first step is to place these two panels down in this orientation. Put in the plastic feet. These typically go in with ease, you don't need a hammer. In the next step, we have 8 of these screws, 4 for each board. It would be difficult to mess this up. They only fit in the holes that they are designed for. And that's what they should look like. Those are the 3 pieces required for the next part, and your dowel pins. Four in each board. Notice the orientation of this board. As well as this one. Two of the cam locks required for this part. And 2 for this board. And now we're going to put the 2 halves together. So line up the screws into the holes. Once everything's lined up, give it a firm push down. Two more required for here. And 2 for here. We're going to stand that up and move it out of the way for now. And now for the second cupboard. Same thing as the first cupboard. Put the plastic feet in the bottom. They just slide right in. You'll see I've already done that step in this one. Next step is to attach the drawer rails. Pay attention to the orientation of these. The wheel goes facing down. 2 screws for each rail. And that's what they should look like. Next, we're going to put 2 cam screws in each board. If I could give you one tip for screwing these in, is to make sure you don't sink them in too far, but make sure they are flush. And these are the 2 next boards required. Four dowel pins in this board. And 4 in the other. Pay attention to the orientation of this board. The groove must go up. That's what the backing is going to fit in. Two cam locks on the bottom. We're going to tip this sideways to put the other side on. We're going to line up all the dowel pins and tap it in. And 2 more cam locks. Next step is this attachment point. We're putting the 2 plastic feet in the bottom, same as we did with the other 2 cupboards. Make sure you're using the longer wooden dowels in this step. tip for here, you're going to have a difficult time getting the cam lock in the hole if that metal pin is pushed all the way deep inside of it. Pull it out just a little bit when you're attempting to put the cam lock in, and it'll go right in. Pay attention to the orientation, unfinished side up, and 2 cam locks. Now we're going to attach that piece to the portion that has the drawer on it. You can see the 2 holes there. I'm just going to lean it up against the other half to hold it there while I get prepared. If you have a second person, this is when they'll come in handy. 2 of those screws and the Allen key. We're going to thread it in by hand to start. You should always thread these in by hand first. Snug them up nicely. That's what it should look like at this point. And that's the orientation for the second cupboard. We're going to attach them all together now. 4 screws and your provided Allen key. Finish tied up. And start the screws by hand, as I mentioned. To give you a better view here, we're going to snug those 2 up as well. This is actually my first time assembling this particular IKEA desk. I'm not sure if it's a new one or if I just happen to not have come across it yet. And that's what it should look like at this point. Just pay attention to which holes they're going in. You don't want to put them in the holes that have the screws going through in the next step. All right, now we're going to put the top together. This is the first board. We're going to use 4 of these pins with 4 cam locks. And again, my tip here is to make sure these cam bolts aren't pushed in as far as they could possibly be, or you won't get these cam locks in the hole all the way. Just pull those metal bolts out a little bit. You'll see here I'm pulling them out just a bit as I'm tightening them. Four of the extra long dowel pins. Make sure you don't use the short ones here. We're going to get the second half of the desk and attach it here. This can really only go in the one orientation. It can be a little tricky here to line everything up to get them put together, but a little wiggling and you'll get it done. There it is. 4 cam locks. Next, we're going to put a bunch of these screws in. I'll just remind you of my tip for these is to make sure you don't over tighten them into the wood. They should be just flush with the wood. If you don't do that, it can lead to issues when you go to put the cam locks in. So if you have an issue where you can't get the cam lock in and locked, then that screw is probably not in all the way as it should be. Really, you should have a second person for this part. Unfortunately, I was alone. I managed to do it by myself because I have done similar in the past by myself. But if you have somebody to help you, definitely get some help with this. It can be a little tricky to line up all of the screws and dowel pins. All of those dowel pins are quite tight into the top, so you do need a little bit of banging to get it down. Just make sure that everything is perfectly lined up before you use any force. Next, we're going to put a couple cam locks in there. This hole was a little snug. It wasn't drilled quite right. If you can't push them directly in the hole, then you don't have them aimed in the right orientation. There's a little arrow on them which always faces where the hole is. These were a little snug as well. We've got 4 more in here. Pay attention to the 2 drawer rails at this point too. If they don't look like this, then now's your time to change them. Okay, we're getting close to the end here, and the next step we're going to put together the door. Two of the hinges and 4 screws. Now, I like to put this next part on now as opposed to attaching them to the box first. Just the way I do things. Notice that I don't have it slid in all the way where you can see the screw is backed out just a little bit there. And pay attention to the orientation of these as well. Apologize for the sloppy camera work here. I'll show you in a minute what I've done. So this is what it should look like now. We've used the B opening for the screws. There's the shelf. And we'll put a couple little rubber stoppers on the shelf so the door doesn't smack on it. Last but not least will be the drawer. Now we had a little bit of an issue with her drawer. I'll show you that in a minute. the finished side goes down. Typically the locks go on the outside. Now you'll notice with this piece we ended up with two pieces the same. So she ended up with a lock on the inside and one on the outside. It was that or have the unfinished side up, which wouldn't look good. Make sure you support both sides when you're hammering this in, and always put them in by hand first. That way you're sure that they line up and you're not going to smash any pieces of wood. Okay, now the second problem we had with this drawer was that there were no pre-drilled holes. This particular drawer has the screws coming through the bottom to hold the slides on. Just make sure that everything is lined up the way it should be if you have the same issue before you drill the hole. Also notice the orientation. The wheels go to the back of the drawer. Two screws in each slide. The easiest way to put the drawer in is to tilt it down and put the wheels into the rail and then lift it up and push it in. And there it is. Putting the shelf on the other side. Now you'll notice those pins have a little bit of a hump on the top of them. They're going to fit into the holes into the bottom of the shelf. It can take a little bit of maneuvering, but you can get it. You'll see what I'm talking about here. And that's it for this assembly. If I've helped you, please help me and like and follow. I'll be uploading new videos every week of different IKEA furniture assembly. Thank you.